In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NBA games happening on March 26, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NBA games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Los Angeles Clippers versus New York Knicks. The Los Angeles Clippers are set to embark on a cross-country trip as they head to the East Coast to take on the New York Knicks at the historic Madison Square Garden. The Clippers currently hold the 7th seed in the Western Conference standings, but their position is far from secure. They are locked in a tight battle with the Minnesota Timberwolves and Golden State Warriors, all vying for control of the 6th through 8th spots in the West. Every game at this stage of the season matters, and the Clippers will be eager to solidify their standing with a win on the road. Meanwhile, the Knicks appear to have a more stable footing in the Eastern Conference playoff picture. They are firmly entrenched in the 3rd seed, boasting a sizable lead over the 4th-seeded Indiana Pacers. However, catching up to the 2nd-seeded Boston Celtics seems like a long shot, as they trail by a daunting 8-game margin. A key storyline heading into this matchup is the injury status of James Harden, who is dealing with foot soreness. The Clippers are monitoring his condition closely, and his availability could play a significant role in the game's outcome. On the other side, the Knicks continue to be without 2 key players, Jalen Brunson and Miles McBride, which puts added pressure on the rest of their roster to step up. Despite some injury concerns, the Clippers have been playing their best basketball of the season lately. They nearly pulled off a victory against the Oklahoma City Thunder, the current top team in the league, in their most recent contest. As for the Knicks, they are coming into this matchup fresh off an easy victory over a short-handed Dallas Mavericks squad, marking their 2nd consecutive win. Over the past month, the Knicks have struggled with consistency, alternating between impressive performances and frustrating losses. To make matters more challenging, they find themselves in a tough scheduling spot, playing the 2nd game of a back-to-back set. These situations can be particularly taxing on teams that are already dealing with key injuries, and with Brunson still sidelined, the Knicks could have a hard time keeping pace with a surging Clippers squad. Los Angeles has found its groove over the past few weeks, winning 8 of their last 10 games while also posting an impressive 7-3 record against the spread during that span. One of those 3 losses was an extremely close 2-point defeat at the hands of the Thunder, showing just how competitive they have been. In terms of recent form and consistency, the Clippers have simply been the stronger and more reliable team. Given their current momentum and the advantage of extra rest, it's difficult to go against them in this matchup. The Knicks, already facing challenges with their lineup, are in a tough spot schedule-wise, making this an uphill battle. As our first pick for this matchup, the Los Angeles Clippers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. While the Clippers should have a solid offensive outing in this game, their style of play leans toward a slower, more methodical approach. Los Angeles currently ranks 22nd in the NBA in pace, meaning they do not push the tempo often. They also sit at 26th in the league in field goal attempts per game and rank near the bottom at 28th in three-pointers attempted per contest. This indicates that they do not rely on volume shooting to generate offense, but instead depend on efficient scoring from their starting unit. Depth is not necessarily a strength for the Clippers, making their first 5 crucial to their success. However, what truly sets them apart is their defense. Los Angeles boasts the 2nd best defensive rating in the league, and in their last meeting with the Knicks, they held New York to just 95 points. Given that the Knicks are without their best offensive player, Jalen Brunson, their ability to generate points could be severely limited, especially considering the fatigue factor from playing on consecutive nights. New York plays at an even slower pace than the Clippers, ranking 25th in the league in that category. Without Brunson in the lineup, their offensive balance has taken a hit, and the results have shown. Despite being 9th in the NBA in overall scoring, the Knicks have struggled to hit the over recently, posting a 2-7-1 record to the under in their last 10 games. The Clippers, on the other hand, are comfortable in a low-scoring affair, affair. They rank 21st in the NBA in points per game but excel on the defensive end, sitting at 4th in fewest points allowed per contest. Add in their ranking of 26th in pace of play, and it's easy to see why this game is shaping up to be a defensive battle. Expect a slow, grinded-out type of contest where points will be at a premium. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Milwaukee Bucks versus Denver Nuggets. The NBA betting scene rolls on this Wednesday, March 26, 2025, bringing us a 6-game slate that promises plenty of action. One of the standout matchups on the schedule is a cross-conference battle taking place at Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado. The Milwaukee Bucks and Denver Nuggets will face off in what will be the final meeting of their 2-game regular season series. The Bucks came out on top in their first encounter, securing a 121-112 victory as underdogs on their home court back in February. Now, it's Denver's turn to try and even the score, but both teams come into this game dealing with injury concerns that could shape the outcome. Milwaukee is facing a tough challenge as they head into this matchup without one of their key stars. Damian Lillard has already been ruled out, and to make matters worse, Giannis Antetokounmpo is listed as questionable due to a lingering left foot sprain. On the other side, Denver is hoping to get reigning MVP Nikola Jokic back on the floor, but Aaron Gordon remains uncertain to play. The injury situation makes this game difficult to predict, as we may not get definitive answers on player availability until shortly before tip-off. What we do know for certain is that Lillard won't be playing, marking the 4th consecutive game he's missed since last suiting up against the Golden State Warriors on March 18th. Since then, Milwaukee has held up well, posting a 2-1 straight-up record and a perfect 3-0 mark against the spread. Meanwhile, the Nuggets have struggled to cover, needing to go back 9 games to find 3 against the spread wins and a full 14 games to get to 4. If Jokic remains sidelined, Denver could be in for another difficult night. They managed to scrape by the Houston Rockets thanks to Jamal Murray's 39-point explosion. But their following game against the Chicago Bulls exposed their weaknesses once again. Denver's defensive struggles have been glaring, with the team surrendering an eye-popping 122 points per 100 possessions over their last 10 games. By comparison, Milwaukee has been significantly better, recording a +2 net rating over that same span while allowing 113 points per 100 possessions. It's a tight gap, but it still gives the Bucks a noticeable edge, particularly given the way these two teams have been trending lately. The Bucks have also been road warriors recently, as this will be their 5th straight-away game against a Western Conference opponent. It also marks the 3rd consecutive time they'll enter as an underdog by 3.5 points or fewer. Despite that, they've remained reliable against the spread, going 3-0 against the spread in their last 3 contests. Betting against them in this spot doesn't seem wise, especially when you consider Denver's poor track record covering the spread. The Nuggets are just 3-10 against the spread in their previous 13 games and have failed to beat the number in their last 8 home games. Milwaukee, on the other hand, has been profitable, going 6-2 against the spread over their last 8 overall. Even without Lillard in the lineup, the Bucks have enough firepower to keep this game competitive and could very well walk away with another win. As our first pick for this matchup, the Milwaukee Bucks to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. In terms of game pace, both teams play at an up-tempo style, which could influence the total points scored. Denver ranks 8th in the league in possessions per 48 minutes at 99.9, while Milwaukee isn't far behind at 11th with 99.4. Both squads like to push the tempo, and when you factor in Denver's defensive struggles, it creates a strong case for a high-scoring affair. The over has hit in 6 of Denver's last 7 games, while the under has been dominant in recent meetings between these two teams, cashing in 5 straight times. Still, given the current state of Denver's defense, it's hard to see this one turning into a grinded-out, low-scoring battle. Looking at three-point shooting, the Nuggets are an interesting case. They attempt the fewest threes in the league but knock them down at an impressive 38% clip, good for 4th best in the NBA. Milwaukee, by contrast, takes a more moderate approach, ranking 13th in three-point attempt rate while boasting an even better accuracy rate of 38.1%, placing them 3rd in the league. Defensively, the Bucks hold a slight edge, ranking tied for 5th in opponent three-point percentage at 35.1%, whereas Denver sits at 23rd, allowing opponents to hit 36.5% from deep. All signs point toward an offensive-heavy game, with enough scoring to push the total over the projected line. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Boston Celtics versus Phoenix Suns. The Boston Celtics will make their way to the Footprint Center in Phoenix, Arizona on Wednesday night, where they'll face off against the Phoenix Suns in a cross-conference battle. This matchup will be the first time these two teams meet during the current season, adding an extra layer of intrigue as both squads aim to assert their dominance. Looking back at their previous encounters, the Celtics have historically had the upper hand, having swept the Suns in the 2023-2024 season. In fact, over their last 5 meetings, Boston has secured 4 victories while covering the spread in the same span. The Celtics won't be at full strength for this showdown, as Jason Tatum is currently listed as doubtful due to an ankle sprain, which could impact their overall performance. On the other side, the Suns are also dealing with an injury setback, as Bradley Beal has once again been ruled out. Despite Boston's impressive record, they have been somewhat inconsistent when it comes to covering the spread, with a season-long mark of 33-38-1 against the spread. While the Celtics have been winning regularly and are often a solid bet, their success against the spread hasn't been quite as reliable. Meanwhile, Phoenix will have the benefit of playing on their home court, where they've been particularly strong, securing 23 of their 35 total wins this season. The Suns are currently riding a wave of momentum, having won 4 consecutive games, which marks one of their most promising stretches in months. If the season ended today, Phoenix would find themselves in the play-in tournament, meaning every remaining game is crucial for them to maintain or improve their standing. If their winning ways continue, they could climb up to the 9th seed, adding even more incentive to perform at their best. Over the past week, the Suns have displayed a renewed sense of urgency and cohesion, and if they maintain that same level of intensity, they stand a solid chance of capitalizing on Boston's short-handed lineup. As our first pick for this matchup, the Phoenix Suns to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Both teams rank among the slowest in the NBA in terms of pace, sitting in the bottom 7 in that category. However, that may not always result in low-scoring affairs. One major factor contributing to this is the Celtics' reliance on three-point shooting, as nearly 54% of their field goal attempts come from beyond the arc. That kind of high-volume perimeter shooting can quickly push the total score higher, especially against a team like Phoenix, which is far from being an elite defensive unit. The Suns, on the other hand, rely heavily on their offense to stay competitive, and the numbers back that up. They currently rank 9th in the NBA in three-point attempt rate, with 43.8% of their shots coming from deep. Even more impressively, they are 2nd in the league in three-point shooting efficiency, knocking down 38.3% of those attempts. Kevin Durant has been in exceptional form lately, racking up a total of 80 points over his last 2 outings, and the team as a whole has been scoring at an impressive clip. Over their previous 5 games, the Suns have been averaging 121.5 points per 100 possessions, showcasing just how potent their offense has been. Meanwhile, the Celtics have been even more explosive, putting up 125 points per 100 possessions over that same span. Given the offensive firepower both teams bring to the table, and the fact that three-point shooting will likely play a major role in this contest, the total has a strong chance of going over the projected number. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.